Welcome to the Man of Recaps. This is She-Hulk. Meet Jennifer Walters, a nice normal lawyer, except that her cousin is Bruce Banner, the Incredible Hulk. One day they get in a car crash where some of his blood gets into hers, and because she's got the gene, the gamma blood turns her into a Hulk. But luckily, unlike Bruce, who had to spend years learning to control his rage monster, Jen doesn't have a split personality in there. She's under control right away. So her cousin Bruce gives her the crash course on how to be a Hulk, and she picks it up real quick. And now Jen's like, look, I didn't pass the bar to be a superhero. I'm going back to LA to be a lawyer. But when a supervillain's on the loose, Jen has to transform to save the day, and now whether she likes it or not, she is the superhero She-Hulk. Having superpowers gets her fired from her current job, but lands her a new better one because they want a super person to head up their new superhuman law department. And her first big case is the parole hearing for none other than Emil Blonsky, the Abomination. Yes, he's back from the Incredible Hulk movie in 2008, a million years ago, and he makes a great point. He wasn't really a villain in that movie. He was hired by the government to take the Hulk down. They pumped him full of experimental Hulk drugs that made him into an uncontrollable rage monster. There is a big problem though when the video surfaces of him in Shang-Chi fighting Wong in the cage fight. So at his parole hearing, they need to call Wong to the stand, who's like, yeah, sorry, I broke him out of jail, but then we put him right back. That's definitely legal, but Wong isn't under US jurisdiction. Now Blonsky proves that much like Bruce Banner, he's learned to control his rage monster too. And so with the condition that he's not allowed to transform, they did it. He's getting out on parole. Now Wong comes back because he needs a lawyer. He wants to sue this wizard school dropout that's using real magic in his act. He sent the hilarious party girl Madison to a demon dimension, and yeah, this hilarious, ridiculous legal misadventure is a good example of the tone of this show. Now Jen's dating life at the moment is kind of sad, so she decides to make a profile as She-Hulk where she meets some real hot guys. But sadly, they're not really interested in sticking around for Jen. Oof, that hurts. Now the supervillain she fought in Ep 1 is not really a villain, she's Titania, the super influencer. And now she's suing Jen over the name She-Hulk, which Titania is using in her new line of products. She kind of becomes She-Hulk's arch nemesis. One day at a wedding, they end up duking it out. It's actually her dating profile as She-Hulk that wins the case, but now her sad love life is public record. But soon after, she meets a really nice guy named Josh, and they hit it off. Things are going great. Until one day he ghosts her out of nowhere. Oof. But now she goes to check on Emil Blonsky, who's become a self-help guru, and this hilarious group of misfit super people convince her to love herself. Part of that self-love is getting some clothes you look good in, so she goes to see superhero tailor Luke Jacobson, who agrees to make her a super suit and some real suits. But just then she gets a new client that's suing him. Yes, it's the lame wannabe hero Frogman, whose suit malfunctioned. And guess who Luke Jacobson's lawyer is? Yes, it's happening! It's Matt Murdock, Daredevil. He flew out from New York because he's a client too, and instantly he wins this case. Afterwards, he and Jen kind of hit it off, but that night she gets a call from her clients being chased, so she goes down there, and oh, it's Daredevil. They have a little SheHulk vs Daredevil fight. Oh yeah, he looks awesome. In the end, she wins, and they talk it out. Turns out Frogman kidnapped Luke to make him a new suit, so it's time for a classic Daredevil hallway fight. But oh, She-Hulk busts in there, takes care of it much quicker. So Matt and Jen did some lawyering together and some superheroing together, and now, yes, it's happening! These two get it on! Daredevil, who didn't bring a change of clothes, doing the morning after walk of shame. Now, the main villain of the season are these internet trolls who basically hate She-Hulk just for being a woman. In fact, Josh was one of them. He was just playing her, and now they've hacked the thing playing the sex tape he took. So Jen is justifiably real mad, and Hulk smashes this thing. But the government takes rampaging Hulks very seriously, and now she's in big trouble. It's wildly unfair, but that's how it is, and she gets the Blonsky deal. Her Hulk powers are revoked. So her friends go undercover, posing as one of the trolls, and get invited to an in-person meetup. They discover the identity of their ringleader, Todd, but turns out the keynote speaker for this meetup is none other than the Abomination. He's not one of them, though. He doesn't even know what this group is. He's just hired as a motivational speaker, which still very much violates his parole. But now turns out Todd stole some of her blood, injects himself, gets Hulk powers. Then Titania busts in, then Bruce busts in, and Jen's like, wait, what is even happening here? She busts out an epic fourth wall break. Hulk smashes herself straight to the making of show to talk to the writer's room. She fights her way through Marvel Studios security to talk to the big man himself, Kevin, personified as an evil AI bot. And so she rewrites her finale like, look, this is not what my show's about. She doesn't need a big Hulk fight. She can take down her villain with the legal system. Blonsky really is a redeemed good guy, but he violated his parole, so he's got to go back to jail. But this time he calls his friend Wong to pick him up like, yeah, I think I'll live outside of US jurisdiction. Matt Murdock comes over to meet her family. Yeah, these two are really dating. And her cousin Bruce Banner, who flew off to space, well, now he's back with his Hulk son. Yeah, this world just keeps getting bigger. And as for Jen Walters, she's now living the She-Hulk dream, lawyer and superhero, and that's where She-Hulk comes to an end. If you liked this recap, hit that subscribe button for more of the best recaps of TV and movies.